Didn't catch the action on table number 5, assuming that hero check called. I think that's fine. I think you can make a case for check raising this hand also. Loose button, not sure how loose button's opening, but I should have a lot of worse queen X and potential hands that you can bluff catch with. I also have a strategy of check raising pretty aggressively against these short stackers when they open in late position. So obviously need to be doing it for value. I think king queen's a pretty good hand to be doing it for value with. And I'm probably calling river. Expect ace high to check back flop multi-way on occasion. Don't think he reps anything else other than ace X. So yeah, I'd have to base that on c-betting frequencies and how loose he's opening button. But it'd be pretty tempting to call. I mean, that's probably one of the best hands that I expect hero to ever have when getting to the river. So it would be a pretty tempting call to make, I think. I think this check shove on table 6, given bet sizing, is probably all right. It's one of those things, like I said, I expect him to have a pretty good hand. But maybe that's just a bet sizing tell and makes the jam more than all right. I think pocket 6s on table 1. Again, this is the same guy. He's opening 60% blind versus blind. I would just shove pre-flop. I think shoving is slightly better than 3-bet calling, and it's probably a whole lot better than calling pre-flop. It's gonna be really difficult to play this hand with these stacked pot size ratios. So yeah, I'd probably just shove pre-flop. It's definitely profitable to shove. Didn't catch the action on table number 6 or table number 3. I'm going to assume though that early position limped in, hero checked his option. I would be betting this board 100% of the time, looking to fire a lot of turns and some rivers. I'm going to guess that because hero has a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw, that maybe he was going for a flop check raise. We would probably say you don't have quite enough equity for that, and yeah, I would just default to betting flop and then looking to double barrel some turns and rivers. Yeah. Pocket 6s on table 1, probably just have to fold turn. And didn't catch. Here, let's just rewind. It looks like on table 3, hero checked river and got to showdown against 2-4 suited. I would note that he's limping 2-4 suited under the gun, and obviously I would ISO much more aggressively because of that. And I would also probably say that betting this river with 7 high is correct. Very unlikely that the end of the gun limper has an ace once he calls a turn. Unlikely that he has a 10, probably even an 8 is really not something you're going to see too often. And I think that you're going to see a lot of just random 7x and jack x hands, like king jack. King jack being probably a huge part, but just even random jack 5 suited, something in that neighborhood. Pocket 6s that didn't want to bet the flop, or a hand like he had like 4 deuce of hearts. So definitely with 7 high, I'd be betting that river. Kings when under the gun opens, yeah, I think a call is probably correct there. I would 3-bet against some players, but generally calling is consistent with how I play most of my range. Not 3-bet bluffing too much in that spot, and not getting it in too wide either. So calling with king seems correct. So far, my impression has been that we've seen a few limp pots already. It looks like people aren't ISOing these limpers very often, which is definitely good for us. I would open the 10 deuce of diamonds 100% of the time. With 2 presumably bad players in the blinds, it was really high up in my opening range. Probably be opening just about any 2 on the button in this situation, to be quite honest. Pocket top set on board 6. I think calling is probably best. I think a raise looks really strong on this board, and you block most of the combos that you're looking to get action from. If I were to raise a set, I'd be more apt to do it with pocket queens, because then ace king becomes a pretty large part of the under the gun's continuing range. But just generally, I think calling on this board is consistent with my range. Ace queen, ace king, possibly pocket jacks or a hand like that. Those are the types of hands that I'd be continuing with. I wouldn't be raising those hands. I think raising top set there is a little bit. It's probably better, I would say, to just call.